Good evening, everyone. This is Veer Maheshwar Charitable Trust Latur MS India organizing daily international webinar series. This series is running from last 5 years and we are daily enjoying the various speeches from the speakers joined from India and abroad. We are enriching in the knowledge due to the daily various topics delivered by our speakers. Today, on 13th June, we have invited Dr. J. Somasekar sir, who is professor and program head, Jain University, Bangalore. And his topic is role of AI in e-commerce and streaming services. I welcome you, sir, from my organization and from all the participants, those who are joined here. This topic is useful to us because those who are daily we are purchasing something, so that e-commerce, we are related to e-commerce and how AI plays the role in e-commerce. He will explain in his topic. I welcome you again, sir, and request you can start your speech now. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for briefing about the today's session. So I think it's audible, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Let me share my slides.
You can move that block to other side, sir, because it's disturbing to reading. Yes, that is. Yes, perfect, sir. No.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So good evening, all the participants. So it's a great pleasure to give webinar on role of AI in e-commerce and streaming services. So actually, I'm a computer science engineering faculty. So I'm focusing for AI, especially for machine learning, how it will play a vital role for e-commerce services and by using recommendation system. So there are so many applications of AI in e-commerce and streaming services. So I am focusing mainly on how the recommendation system plays a vital role for e-commerce and streaming services. It's very a simple topic and very interesting because every day we are being influenced with this recommendation system from morning to before going to the sleep. So, but we don't know what is exactly happening. That we'll try to explore in today's session. So here, before going to the recommendation system, here as you can see here, we have e-commerce websites. So let us assume if we take here Flipkart and Snapdeal and Amazon or maybe eBay, eBay also e-commerce. These are all the e-commerce websites. Whenever if you open these e-commerce websites, you will get recommendation of the products or maybe recommendation of the mobiles or maybe recommendation of some items, etc. And maybe sometimes if you take academics or maybe education sector, we will get recommendation of the textbooks or maybe recommendation of the programming language textbook in terms of computer terminology. So, but we don't know what is exactly happening and how we are getting recommendation of these textbooks or maybe products, etc. So that we'll try to discuss. Similarly, if we go for streaming services, so if we take streaming services like YouTube, Netflix, or maybe Prime Video, or maybe Sunnext, etc. So whenever if you open these streaming services, we'll get recommendation of the movies or recommendation of the web series, etc. So what is happening beyond this? After Corona, COVID-19, so there is a huge influence of this recommendation system in streaming services. Most of the time nowadays we are watching movies through streaming services. So obviously there is a lot of influence of these streaming services for watching movies or web series, etc. Similarly, if you go for even social media like Facebook or LinkedIn, whenever if you open this Facebook, LinkedIn, etc., you will get recommendation of the friends or recommendation of the jobs. Like suppose when I have a LinkedIn profile, of course I have more than 25,000 followers. Whenever if you open LinkedIn, I'll get some messages like one professor job is recommending for you in some X university in India, maybe outside India, or maybe some director post is suitable for your profile. So if you are interested, try to click the following link. Like the others will get recommendation. So frankly speaking, where I am working now, Jain University, I got job because of recommendation only. In LinkedIn, I got recommendation. There is a professor vacancy in Jain University. If you are interested, you try to apply. I applied. After interview, that rest of the procedure, I got the post. So that means there is a lot of influence of this recommendation when you go for what we can call it as a social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. Even now, it extended for even healthcare sector also. When you go for healthcare sector also, there is a lot of influence of this, what we can call it as a recommendation system. So now, based on that, we are getting some lot of medicines recommendation or maybe doctors recommendation, etc. through healthcare sector also. So that means every day we are being influenced with this recommendation system. So today I will try to explore how the recommendation system plays a vital role for the real day-to-day real life, and how the machine learning comes to the picture. That means AI. Whenever if I say machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, or maybe generative AI or agentic AI, etc., these are all subsets of AI. That means AI is the umbrella under which these comes to the picture. So that's why, so whenever if I say AI, so any technique I can apply. I can apply either machine learning, deep learning, etc. So when we take value of recommendation, because I already told you, every day we are being influenced with this recommendation system. So 75% of the users select movies because of this recommendation. So just let me, I think, just a second. Yeah. Just a second. Yeah. So here, 75% of the users select movies based on the Netflix recommendation. That indicates that out of 1,000 users, 75% of the users are watching movies because of this recommendation. That indicates that there is a lot of revenue generating because of this recommendation for Netflix. Similarly, we are also happy without searching anything. We are getting movies recommendation or maybe web series, etc. We are watching. And even if you take Amazon, this is, I'm talking about streaming services with one instance. And if you take Amazon, this is e-commerce, 35% of the revenue generated because of this recommendation. 35% is a huge revenue. It leads to maybe million or billion dollars. So because of that recommendation, they are getting huge revenue. So in both cases, if you take streaming services, that is called Netflix, or e-commerce, that is called Amazon. So maybe other e-commerce websites also like Flipkart, eBay, etc. So they are also getting huge revenue because of this recommendation. Most of the time, when you go for this e-commerce websites, we are getting some recommendation of the products. We are giving order. Sometimes we don't know what we want, but sometimes if you forget, then you will get recommendation. Let us assume I have given order for laptop. Maybe I forget to give for mouse or maybe keyboard, etc. But I will get immediately recommendation. The following products are recommending for you. Maybe headphones or mouse or maybe keyboard, etc. Then obviously maybe some of the items which we got recommendation may be required when you go for further steps. At that time, we'll give order. Because of that reason only, 35% of the revenue generated because of this recommendation. So that indicates that there is a lot of influence of this recommendation system. So in e-commerce as well as streaming services, because of that reason only, the revenue also drastically increasing. And that's why there is a lot of research is happening in this recommendation system by using AI technique. It could be either machine learning or it could be either deep learning, etc. Now, even if you take YouTube also, so 60% of the clicks on the home screen is happening because of this recommendation. Whenever if you open YouTube, you will get the following video is recommending for you like that. We are clicking that video and we are enjoying that video. Similarly, Google Play, so many times we are getting installation of the apps, which indicates that, so for 70% of the apps installs because of this recommendation. So everywhere you can see there is a huge statistics which indicates that there is a lot of influence of this recommendation system across all the domains. It could be e-commerce or streaming services or maybe healthcare sector or maybe social media, what I had specified previously, like LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. Every day we have influence of this recommendation, but we don't know what is exactly happening beyond that. That I'll try to explore in today's session briefly, because it's a vast topic. It's difficult to complete everything in one session or one webinar session. Maybe it leads to maybe 2-3 days, but I'll try to explore briefly. Maybe in future we'll try to explore rest of the concepts of this recommendation for various fields. Now we'll move to the definition. So whatever I have explained so far, just I have explained the significance of recommendation. So it could be the e-commerce or it could be the streaming services. Based on that, now we are getting some enthusiasm. Oh, this is the way we are getting recommendation. Most of the time we don't know what is happening, but we are enjoying. That is fact. So when you go for Netflix, when you open Netflix, you'll get recommendation of the video. When you click, you are watching. But what is happening beyond that, that most of them we don't know. So maybe those who are working on this recommendation, even computer science graduates or maybe some computer science faculty also, we don't know what is happening. Maybe those who are awareness about this recommendation system, they know, oh, this is the way we are getting recommendation, and this is the way machine learning, deep learning plays a vital role for this type of recommendation. So that's why I'm trying to explore, just to bring awareness what is happening exactly in the recommendation system in the e-commerce or streaming services, maybe to be extended social media, healthcare, education sector, or maybe agriculture sector, everywhere we have. Now coming to definition, so let us assume we have, I'm trying to explain about streaming services like YouTube, Netflix, etc. So we have a Netflix, these are the set of categories. Categories means we can call it as genre. So when you go for YouTube, when you go for e-commerce like, streaming services like Netflix, Amazon, we can call it as a genre. So categories. This is comedy category, maybe this is action oriented category, maybe this is romantic movies, or maybe this is thriller movies, like that. We have various categories under each and every streaming services. So let us assume my interest is comedy movie. So I'm looking for comedy movie. What basically the recommendation system will do, it will act like a filtering system. It will filter the movies which I'm not showing interest, and it will recommend the movies which I'm showing interest. So these are the movies I'm showing interest, because my interest is comedy movies. That's why it will recommend comedy movies to the user. Now you will get out how system knows my interest and how it will recommend that type of movies. That's why machine learning, that means AI comes to the picture. Based on that artificial intelligence, it could be the machine learning or it could be the deep learning. Based on that, these set of movies, let me this category, we can call it as a comedy category or comedy genre, it will recommend to the user. Whether user is going to watch or not, that is left to the user. But as per the statistics, what I have disclosed in the previous slide, so 75% of the users are watching because of this recommendation. That indicates that most of the users are watching, most of the users are enjoying the movies, those who are getting recommendation. So that's why there is a huge influence of this recommendation. If we take e-commerce or streaming services, even other sectors also to be extended. But we are talking about mainly streaming services and e-commerce. That's why I'm giving the streaming service example. So this is a basic definition. What we can call it as it's a filtering system. We can call it as an information filtering system, and it will recommend the movies which I'm showing interest. Based on that, I'm getting recommendation. Whether I'm going to watch or not, that is left to the customer. But as per the statistics, 75% of the users are watching movies because of this recommendation. So hope it's clear the definition what I have explained here. So now we have various application fields that are already mentioned, like streaming services. So Netflix, YouTube, Amazon, Disney Plus, etc. Maybe e-commerce website like eBay, Flipkart, Amazon, etc. And healthcare domain also, and agriculture, finance. Agriculture also, based on the nature of the soil, you will get recommendation of the pesticides or maybe crop, etc. So maybe in North India, one area, maybe it's good for, let us assume some kind of crop, let us assume groundnuts. You will get recommendation of the groundnut, it's suitable for this soil. Maybe in South India, maybe sugarcane is suitable for that soil, especially if you take a Bangalore area like Mysore or maybe Mandya, etc. areas, sugarcane is famous. Maybe that sugarcane is suitable for that soil. Because of that reason, I'll recommend the sugarcane. That is the best crop and you'll get benefit. Like this type of recommendations, we have apps also. Some of the agriculture recommendation system, just we have to enter all the details, like whatever it may be, some technicality details, then you will get recommendation of the crop which is which yields high growth, or maybe which yields better benefits. That's why we have to go for sugarcane, maybe groundnuts, like that we'll get recommendation. Social media, I already told you. So LinkedIn, Facebook, we are getting friends recommendation, jobs recommendation. Education sector, like in education sector, so maybe one student got 95% in BTech, he will get recommendation of some Microsoft or maybe some kind of Google jobs because he's having high percentile, maybe his skills are very high. Like that, based on his profile, in LinkedIn, you will get recommendation. Similarly, tourism, hotels, everywhere. Across all the domains, we have recommendation of this application. That's why there is a lot of research is happening in the recommendation system by using machine learning or deep learning or etc. Maybe natural language processing to be extended. Now Gen AI, that plays a vital role, that also we can apply. Even explainable AI. So some of my research scholars also pursuing a PhD under the recommendation system with focus on explainable AI, XAI, under the e-commerce and streaming services. So we have various types of recommendations. So one is collaborative filtering and content-based filtering, popularity-based. So now, so far what we have discussed, just we have discussed the significance of recommendation system. What is the definition of recommendation system? What are the applications of recommendation system? Hope it's clear up to this. If you have any queries at the end of the session, I'll give 5 minutes for discussion, or maybe meanwhile you can post your queries in the chat box. At the end of the session, I will read and answer your queries. So it's a good for discussion. If anyone looking for postdoc, research, it could be either a PhD or postdoc, whatever it may be. Now we'll move to the next one, that is called types of recommendation. When you're talking about research, these types of recommendations are very, very important. So we have 3 types. One is popular based, one is content based, one is collaborative. Just I'll try to explore briefly. After that, we'll move to some of the research articles, so that we'll try to wind up that one. So I am focusing mainly on collaborative and content based. So let us assume collaborative filtering technique. So let us assume we have user A, and this user watched movies AB. So let us assume, so some movies, let us assume here, some movies, let us assume Durandar 1, Durandar 2, let us assume. So Durandar 1, so let us some movies, whatever it may be, let us assume. So Durandar part 1, chapter 1, and let us assume Durandar chapter 2, that means part 2. So these are the 2 movies watched by user A. Just for generic purpose, I specified movie A and movie B. So let us assume user A watched movie 1, movie 2, that is called Durandar 1, Durandar 2. Let us assume, just for better understanding, I am giving them of the movies. You can assume any movies, it's not a problem. And coming to the user B, he also watched same movies. Let us assume, I am assuming movie A, movie B. So what does it mean here? He also watched Durandar 1 and let us assume, so Durandar 2. These are the 2 movies he also watched. So what does it mean? If 2 users are watching same movies, let us assume I am taking D1, D2, D1, D2, Durandar 1, Durandar 2. What does it mean? These 2 users having same similarity, that means same taste. Maybe both likes action-oriented movie, or maybe some kind of romantic movie, etc. So these D1, D2, Durandar 1 and 2, both are action-oriented movie or maybe thriller movies. So that's maybe these 2 users having same taste. That means same similarity. So that's why we can say A and B are similar. That means both are having same similarity. We can call it as a technically, when you are talking about technicality, machine learning, we can call it as a both are correlated. Both are correlated. I think most of them, those who are attending, you have studied statistics in lower classes. Correlation. So what is correlation? It establishes the relation between 2 variables, let us assume X and Y. Suppose if rainfall increases, maybe let us assume rainfall. Suppose demand increases, price also increases. Demand decreases, price also decreases. During corona time, mask rate is very high. Now no corona, that's why mask rate is decreased. That's why both are correlated. So that means we can call it as a demand and price. When demand is more, price also more. When demand is less, price also less. That's why we can call it as a demand and price are correlated. Same thing here, user A and user B are correlated. Why? Means both are having similarity. That means user A watched Durandar 1, Durandar 2, user B watched D1, D2. That means both are having similarity. That means both are having same taste. So we can call it as A and B are correlated. So that is the concept of correlated. That's why machine learning comes to the picture. This is basically inferential statistics. Now let us assume user B watched movie C. So let us assume user B watched movie C. Some new movie released in the market. Let us assume movie C released in the market. Let us assume latest Telugu movie. Let us assume Peddi. So PEDDA. So this is the latest Telugu movie. It's a pan-India movie. Of course, Hindi language also it is released. So this is the latest movie user B watched. What basically recommendation system? I'm talking about these movies available in the streaming services. So maybe Amazon, these movies are available. So user B watched Peddi movie, let us assume available in the streaming services, movie C I'm assuming. What recommendation system will do? This movie will recommend to user A. Why it will recommend to user A? Because user A and user B both are correlated. Whatever movie watched by B, it will recommend to user A because both are having high similarity. Suppose if user A watch, let us assume some movie, let us assume user A watch a jailer movie, let us assume Rajnikant movie, let us assume jailer, some movie, whatever it may be, then this movie will recommend to user B. That means whenever A is watching something, it will recommend to user B. Whenever B is watching something, it will recommend to A. This we can call it as a collaborative filtering algorithm. Collaborative means there is a collaboration, there is a similarity, it is looking in the data set. Whenever two users are similar, whatever movie watched by user A, it will recommend to user B. Whatever movie watched by user A, it will recommend to user B. Similarly, whatever movie watched by B, it will recommend to user A. This we can call it as a collaborative filtering technique, which is very, very useful when you go for Netflix. Even Netflix also works on this collaborative filtering technique. Same concept only. Even you can check it in Google how Netflix will work for recommendation, how we are getting recommendation. You will get this type of image only. So even though the concept what I have explained is very, very simple, anyone can understand. Not only faculty, even students, even 5th class, 7th class students also can understand what I understood. But it's very, very powerful. That's why Netflix also working on this, and they're working. I mean, their recommendation happening in the Netflix because of this concept. Just to check it in Google, how Netflix recommendation system works, you'll get this type of diagram. So that is called collaborative filtering technique, and based on that you will get recommendation. Now the question is how it will calculate the similarity. So there machine learning comes to the picture, and based on that we can go for either similarity measures, or we can go for classifiers, because in machine learning we have classifiers like Bayesian classifier or support vector mission or decision tree, random forest, KNN, like that. We have various classifiers. We can use various classifiers, or we can use similarity measures. Based on that we can make a collaborative filtering recommendation system. Hope it's clear whatever the diagram I have explained. And now onwards you can imagine whenever you are getting recommendation, you remember this one. Oh, this is the way we are getting, because we attended that webinar. There some faculty explained about this one. So like that you can remember lifelong. That's why this recommendation is one of the powerful research topic nowadays. So now we have next one is content-based filtering, because I hope it's clear what is collaborative filtering technique. Now we'll go for content-based filtering technique. So let us assume user here. Here there is no concept of collaborative. There is no concept of more than one user. Just I am assuming one user. This user watched two movies. Let us assume movie 1, movie 2. So this is comedy category and this is comedy category. So these are the two movies. That means in his profile, when you go for any e-commerce or streaming services, each user having some profile. In his profile, so two movies watched, that is called comedy movie. Next also comedy. These are the two movies he watched, and it is stored in the profile. That means user profile. Now today in the Netflix or maybe streaming service, any streaming services like e-commerce or maybe Netflix or maybe Amazon Prime or maybe Sun Next, etc., whatever, or maybe Disney Plus or Hotstar, whatever it may be. So these three movies released. So movie 3 within bracket I mentioned action movie, movie 4 within bracket comedy movie, movie 5 within bracket drama. So we can observe that whenever if I go for Netflix or maybe let us assume Amazon Prime, etc. So when you go for Netflix or maybe Amazon Prime, etc., we have a movie. Let us assume something movie. Let us assume Durandar 1 something. So within bracket you will get like this. So within bracket we can find action, romance, drama, like that we can find the gender. That means this is a combination. You can check it after this section. Just you can open the Netflix and you can check it. Each and every movie in the down you can find. So action, romantic, thriller, or maybe action, romantic, devotional. This type of keywords we can find. That means the genre, we can call it as a genre. We can call it as a category. That means whenever if I take any movie in the streaming services, it could be the Amazon Prime or Netflix or maybe Sun Next or maybe Hotstar. For each and every movie or maybe web series, within bracket we can find action, thriller, romantic, like that. Maybe if the entire movie is action, within bracket we can find action. This type of keywords we can find. That is called genre, or we can call it as a category. Now what I am taking here, movie 3 is an action movie and movie 4 is comedy, movie 5 is drama. As per the profile, as per the watch history, so he used to watch only comedy movies. As you can see here, user A used to watch only movie 1, movie 2. So far both are comedy category. What the recommendation system will do, because based on the history, based on the profile of the user, so far he used to watch only comedy movies, but today these are the 3 movies released in the platform that is called streaming platform, or maybe Amazon or Netflix, etc. The recommendation system will recommend movie 4. Why it will recommend movie 4? Because as per the history or as per the profile, so user A used to watch only comedy movies. Because of that reason, whatever movies released in the OTT platform today, action movie, it won't recommend. The recommendation system won't recommend to A, because as per the statistics, as per the history, profile history, you used to watch only comedy movies. That's why action it won't recommend. Comedy it will recommend because the profile indicates that you used to watch comedy movies, and drama also it won't recommend because as per the profile it won't recommend drama. Similarly, if you go for e-commerce also, let us assume Amazon. So far, I used to buy maybe a Python textbook, C programming language, C++ language. These are the textbooks I have given order so far in the Amazon. So that means I am showing interest only for programming languages. So there some textbooks are released. One textbook is, let us assume, machine learning. One textbook is nothing but R programming. One textbook is nothing but, let us assume, a database management system, something. Then as per the history, I used to buy only programming languages textbook. That's why I will get recommendation of this R programming, because based on the profile, so I used to buy only programming languages, because in this today, whatever textbook released in the e-commerce website, so I will get recommendation of the R programming language textbook. So this is a way, so a content-based filtering works for the recommendation of the movies or products. Hope it's clear the difference between collaborative filtering and content-based filtering. Similarly here also, so let us assume in content-based filtering, so let us assume watched by user this bag, and similar product, maybe one more similar kind of thing. So he will get recommendation. Maybe other kind of bag, something is available. It will go for recommendation of the user because he already bought some item that is bag. Maybe similar item is available, then it will recommend to the user. Just now I have explained about textbook, Python textbook, something. Here you can see this is my Amazon history. Just for you can see my name also somewhere. Hello Somasekar, like that here. So here I have purchased recently one what we can call it as a graphic pen tablet, and after giving order this one, now we got these recommendations: mouse, maybe desktop. Maybe I am looking for this type of categories which are highly correlated with the digital drawing pen. Maybe because of that reason, so I'm getting these recommendations. Whether I'm going to buy or not, that is left to the user. But as per the statistics, as per the content-based recommendation, it will look for the user profile. In the user profile, digital drawing graphics pen, which are all correlated, which are all similar. Belongs to the same category. That's why we'll get this recommendation. Whether we are going to buy this mouse or tablet or keyboard, etc., that is left to the user. But as per the statistics I have shown, 35% of the revenue increase for Amazon because of this recommendation. So now I hope it's clear. Now we have covered what is recommendation, what is the significance of recommendation, and what are the applications, what are the types of recommendation. That is called collaborative filtering. I have explained through graphical representation how machine learning comes to the picture, and also have explained content-based filtering. So based on the user profile, you will get recommendation. One research article I'll try to explore. So here you can see user profile correlation basis similarity algorithm in movie recommendation system. So basically in this what happens, so we have a set of movies in the database, and how it will recommend. Suppose user A, let us assume user A, we have user A and user B, let us assume user B and user C. Just I'm explaining. So A, so let us assume A, B, C. So basically here some movie watch, let us assume movie one, let us assume movie one watched by A. So rating provided 5, rating provided 5, and rating provided 2. Now movie 2, so movie 2 watched by, so let us assume watched by A, that rating provided let us assume 5, and these things we don't know whether he did not watch that movie, he did not watch this movie. So this is a data set. So because after watching movie we are providing the ratings. Now, as you can see here, movie 1 watched by user A, B, C. A provided rating 5, B provided rating 5, C provided rating 2. Now, user B watched movie A, but not B, C. So what happens here, basically the user profile correlation based similarity, as you can see here, movie 1 watched by A, B, C, but out of this user A and B having similarity, that means both liked that movie, that's why they have provided rating 5. Now movie 2 watched by only A, because of A, B and high correlated, because both ratings are very high and almost close, almost equal here. That's why whatever movie watched by A, some movie watched that's called M2, it will recommend to user B. So, but this movie is not going to recommend to user C, because user C and user A not having correlation, that similarity, because of that reason. So movie 2 recommend to user B but not user C. Now how we can calculate the similarity? So far that correlation comes to the picture. That means in statistics we can call it as inferential statistics. We studied in the lower classes how to find the correlation between two variables. By using that concept, it will calculate the correlation with user 1 to other users. Whenever there is a high correlation with M1, M2 with other users, that correlation we are considering. Based on that, it will go for recommendation of the movies. In this case, AB are highly correlated when compared to AC. Because of that reason, whatever movie watched by A, it will recommend to B. Here, what is the rating provided by user A for M2? 5, and obviously AB are similar because both users having same rating for movie 1. Hence, movie 2 is recommending for user B. But movie 2 is not recommending to user 2 because user C, because the rating is very low. Rating is very low. That means these two users are not similar. Hence, it is not going to recommend. For calculating this similarity, we have to go for correlation coefficient. That's why the research article is correlation based similarity algorithm in movie recommendation system. So we studied in lower classes how to find the correlation between two variables. So this is the correlation measure. We can call it as a similarity between user A, user B, that is user 1, user. This is called R. So we used to represent notation R, that is called correlation coefficient. So by using that, this is called covariance. Basically, R equal to that we studied in the lower classes. So covariance of XY divided by standard deviation of X, standard deviation of Y. So this is the formula. By using that, we used to calculate the correlation coefficient. Hence, based on this measure, we converted the correlation coefficient into similarity between two users, U1, U2. Same. This is numerator is correlation covariance. Denominator is standard deviation between one user, standard deviation between other user. So this RUI means R1 to, let us assume. That means, so this value is, let us assume, or AB, let us assume, or maybe A1. So user A giving rating for movie 1 is 5. That is the meaning. Or IJ means user I provided rating for movie J. That is the meaning. Whenever if I go for here, or U1 I, let us assume. What does it mean? The rating provided by user U1 to movie I, that's the meaning. These ratings we already discussed in the previous slide. So based on that, we have to calculate the correlation coefficient. Hence, we have to see high correlation, and hence we have to go for recommendation. So these topics are very huge topics, so we don't have time to cover now. Just I'm giving briefly. Maybe if anyone interested to do research or maybe academic point of view for projects, etc., I will provide the mail ID at the end of the session. You can contact me. We will discuss further also. Just I'm giving brief idea. Hope you understood what we have explained so far, discussed. So this research article, if you go through this, you can find a lot of insights about how the correlation coefficient. This is very, very basic formula. Maybe you'll get doubt. So this is a basic formula, how it is published in a SCA indexed journal. I already told you, Netflix also using a similarity of correlation, that what we have discussed, collaborative filtering in the previous slide. Same thing they are applying, but it's very, very powerful application for the e-commerce and streaming services. So I hope it's clear. Now, if you want to explore more about this recommendation system, I'll try to show some of the resources, and if you want, you can explore more. So one is a recommendation system with Python. You can go through these textbooks. You can find a lot of insights about this recommendation, how the recommendation system plays a vital role, and what are the applications, how to use a Python program for implementation. And it's open source. Even you can download this textbook also. And one more textbook, Mathematics for Data Scientists. Why it's very, very important? Whenever I used to take invited talks, so far I have completed more than 290 across the country, outside countries also, maybe around 12 countries. So there I used to recommend Mathematics for Data Scientists. Why mathematics? Because today's session, I have taken only 35 or 40 minutes. In that top 35-40 minutes, we can see a lot of mathematics involved, correlation coefficient, maybe Bayes and classifier concepts, etc. Even though not covered, these things are very, very important when you're talking about machine learning. There are a lot of mathematics is involved. So without understanding proper mathematics, it's very difficult to go for machine learning or deep learning or maybe natural language processing or generative AI. That's why always I used to suggest try to go through the mathematical aspects, then we can go to the data science or maybe machine learning, etc. So that's why I'm recommending this hands-on mathematics for data scientists. So whatever I have explained, simple correlation coefficient measure, etc. These insights we can find in this textbook so that we can understand how the mathematics we are trying to explore for various applications by using machine learning or data science or deep learning. Deep learning, if we start, still a lot of insights we can find. A lot of mathematical aspects are involved in the deep learning. So that was my talk. So if you have any queries, you can send to me for a research discussion or maybe academic point of view discussion or maybe graduate project discussion about recommendation or maybe any other research topics also. You can send mail to me, Somasekar@gmail.com. I'm welcome for discussion and we will discuss for further student purpose or maybe research point of view. So once that was the talk. If you have any queries, you can unmute and ask me, or you can post your queries in the chat box. I'm happy to answer your queries. So once again, thank you, sir, for giving this wonderful opportunity to explore about recommendation system for streaming services and e-commerce. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Somasekar, sir.
Yeah.
Your great presentation, useful to all, and also your recommended mathematical books. So if anyone interested to further investigate or to do the research, they will definitely contact you. It was the best session, useful session, and we just without doing participation or without doing any mathematics, just today I am knowing that there is a mathematics to find the recommendations. So
Yes.
we have so much lag in this area, but you have clarified that every recommendation, every market, every e-commerce is depending upon this type of recommendation, and every recommendation is full data for the or companies or that industries, so they can grow their business and try to recommend that products. Thank you, sir. Now I request all the participants, those who are joined here, they can discuss with our speaker. Just yesterday I requested him, and today he have presented very effectively and studious talk. As he's also invited by so many countries, and his great contribution is also with us, support also with us, given this today's speech. And in future also he will be already scheduled a speech also in future also. Thank you, sir. Thank you all participants. You can fill the feedback link and you can discuss with our speaker.
If you have any queries, you can post in the chat box or you can unmute and ask me, we'll discuss.
Those who are engineering side or e-commerce or business commerce interested participants, they can discuss with our speaker. Or if your student is working in this field, they can recommend the YouTube link to the students or the beneficiaries. If anyone want to discuss, they can discuss. This is the discussion session.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, madam. Good evening, madam.
Sir, thank you, sir. Your session was very nice today. My one question is for a student. Yes. What is the future of e-commerce in the coming time for future generation?
Actually, future generation, obviously, e-commerce is very, very vital role. Already, nowadays only we are a lot of influence of e-commerce. Nowadays, we stop to go for shops for mobile purchase or maybe other items. So that's why recommendation is very, very plays a vital role in future also, because now still we are finding some of the issues in recommendation like scalability or maybe cold start problem, like that some of the things are there. That is research topics actually. So future there is a huge influence of this recommendation system in the e-commerce, and obviously there is a lot of growth for e-commerce because of this recommendation system, and most of the time we are buying items through e-commerce only, madam. Obviously, there is a lot of influence of this e-commerce, even streaming services also. Nowadays, most of the movies we are not going to theater, we are watching through e-commerce like Amazon, what we can call Netflix, etc.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priti Kumar, Priti Kumar, madam, for asking this question. And definitely, we are daily purchasing something using this e-commerce Without e-commerce, we can't go ahead. I like this new generation or today's generation is also affected or taking benefit of this e-commerce. They are reviewing, they are reading the reviewers' comments, and they can recommend few things those who are good. So every day we are getting more technical knowledge from the users because they have recommended, and we getting the e-commerce topics or e-com. We are involving in the e-commerce. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time accepting our invitation in the last hour. I was very much thankful to you because I was just requesting so many speakers to join because that scheduled speaker was unable to join. In this time, you have helped us to avoid the break in the series. And in future also,
At any time, sir, just if you inform 10 minutes before also I'll join, sir, because it's like sharing knowledge, nothing I'm going to lose. See how many participants are giving compliments, it will give more happiness, just sharing knowledge only. I think you have muted.
Sir, please.
Yeah. So I'm always welcome, sir, at any time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Doctor.
Can you elaborate on healthcare sector? You said how we can help you, because I've been medical field and you use technical terminology, so we were not too much. But I this word.
Yeah. Actually, in healthcare sector, sir, so we have that is called recommendation of the medicines. We can call it as a drug recommendation system. What happens in the healthcare sector? Suppose we have a data set of 100 patients are available. Suppose if new patients is coming, we have to collect the symptoms of that patient. If these symptoms are matching with any one of the symptoms of the data set person, if both are same, then you will get the recommendation of the prescription immediately. So these are the medicines you have to use immediately. Like that we have healthcare. And one more example, like a diet recommendation. I'm struggling with some disease. You will get morning you have to take this much rice or maybe this much chapati, afternoon and this much exercises you have to do. That is second thing. Third thing is doctor recommendation. Suppose a person having some symptoms, he will get recommendation. These symptoms belongs to malaria or these symptoms belongs to cancer. You have to consult some ex-doctor nearer your area only. We have some of the apps also, recommendation of the doctor. Just we have to enter the symptom or just we have to enter the disease. You will get this doctor is suggested for you. 100% is not correct. At least 90% is correct. Okay, ex-doctor is suitable to handle the cancer. Immediately you can go and approach the doctor. Otherwise, you have to beg everyone who is the best person to treat cancer or maybe malaria. So this type of things are happening in the healthcare sectors. I have some of the research articles I have done. So maybe we don't have time to explore today. Maybe in next session, we will go for recommendation system for healthcare sector. I will explain clearly.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm from a homeopathic side. I'm a homeopathic physician.
Very useful. It's very, very useful, sir.
And we are kind of software like Radar and Zoomio karke. So we are using all those softwares, and it's, especially in homeopathy, we require the symptoms only, not the diagnosis.
Correct.
And so we try to match with the drug substance, and then that is how we select the drug. Correct. So I think partially we are doing it, but of course it is not a totally automatic. What we say, AI is doing it. But the question comes, at the end, the human mind has to play a role.
That's
even, they are bringing the things in a smaller, this perception, but still we have to apply our brain, and then only we have to give, because it is a concern of a health of, the living person.
But it's very sensitive. So healthcare is very, very sensitive. Instead of referring cancer medicine, if you refer some other disease, then gone. That's why we should be very careful.
One has to be very careful about this, and even about the diet also. Every person is considered as an individual person, and we have to consider that person as just one of the, what we can say, excuse me. We have to see patient as is totally different from my previous patients.
100%.
What we are using.
We have to see his history also, whatever symptoms or whatever diseases he's having.
So we are having software. So thank you very much, sir, for your appreciable, presentation, because it was technical, little, there was a problem, but I could recognize, yes, definitely AI is playing a vital role in the, medical field and healthcare system. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Bhakti, sir.
Thank you, Doctor, sir. When he was saying that about the healthcare sector recommendations, all these things. I was remembering you also because you are there and you may discuss definitely with him also. So for the equipments which are used in the health sector, they might be recommended by such organizations also.
That's true.
In such data software also. Thank you, sir, with your help, because before 10 minutes, I can request you, if anyone not unable to join, but this thing not happen. One day before, I have to inform you because they give the non-availability one day before. At that time, definitely I request you. And also, you have given to other speakers. They are also our honorable speakers, so you can recommend more also, and you can inform them also to keep them topic ready. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for opportunities. Thank you all for your compliments and valuable discussion. Thank you, sir.
Participants are requested to fill the feedback. Participants are requested to fill the feedback link. Feedback link is available in the chat box so that you can get your certificates. Thank you.